I think what's increasingly prevalent in the world is global warming and the rise of the green consumer. What we're seeing is that increasing outreach into the realms of sustainability, but also the importance of having recreational space. We're finding half the world's population now living in inner city centres, wanting the hustle and the bustle of inner city living. But at the same time, they still want that sense of retreat. They want to have that sense of rest and recuperation, health and well-being. And I think what's key to this scheme is the idea that you have the ability for inner city living, yet within the resplendence of recreational garden spaces. And it's not just recreational garden spaces on the ground. It's putting recreational garden spaces in the sky that offer health and well-being, social amenity, recreation. So what is central to the scheme is the idea of open space, and the open space that has a huge benefit to the occupants and those city dwellers, those families, those double income, no kids yet generation, so that there's a real sense of buzz and community. So open space is key. One of those key elements to the design within that open space is a recreational beach facility. I mean, it's going to be such an iconic feature. I don't think there's been anything like this in the world that is so interesting in that it's a beach within the city. Yes, sure, you can get sort of recreational beaches that are sort of made up for a particular period of time within a festival. I remember going to a beach in London within the sort of the arts and cultural festivals that take place down by the River Thames every year. But nevertheless, that's just a short period of time. This is a 24-hour, 12-month-a-year, 365 days a year environment that people will be able to enjoy. But it's not just about the beach. It's not just about being able to go and paddle in the water. It's all the other recreational facilities that support it. You know, wonderful garden environments, wonderful sort of water cascades, wonderful fountains that provide that real sense of arrival. And you know that when you're arriving at this space, it's something that is pleasurable, but also very sophisticated. There is this balance between being playful and being upmarket. And so I think it'll be a destination that people will come to understand and respect. In many respects, it's following that sort of adage by the urban historian Jan Gale. It's places, people, buildings, and in said order, please. What it means is that we're able to try and create places that people can enjoy. And with these open spaces, they're not just resulting on the ground, but they're also being brought up into the sky. So that there is this opportunity to not always have to travel groundwards, but actually enjoy distant views and amenities down below. Half of the world's population are living in inner city centres. We're increasingly densifying our cities. Spaces are becoming, they're vanishing because they're being built upon. What luxury there is the open spaces. So yes, we can all sort of wax lyrical about the depletion of natural resources. Yes, you know, 80 million barrels are consumed on a daily basis, which is equivalent to 5 pyramids of Giza being filled on a daily basis. That is a lot of natural resource depletion. But what I'm a strong advocate for in the designs that I do is the replenishment of open space. And you know, I'm delighted to be able to work with Century Properties that have that same sense of commitment to those social spaces that offer social amenity. And with those open spaces, I think that will be a very, very enjoyable environment. Well, I think it probably has to do with a lot of our sort of global experience in doing some of the best waterfront developments in the world. We've been designing probably the largest track of development along the River Thames in London over the last 20 years, including Battersea Reach, Vauxhall Tower. Vauxhall Tower, for instance, will be the tallest residential tower in Europe when completed in 2011, which won plaudits for its green capabilities. For example, the roof turbine on top of the roof develops 10% of the building's energy, which is no mean feat. We are faced with a situation now that people can fly where they want, when they want. The cost of air travel has come right down through sort of low-cost carriers like AirAsia, for example. The site in Bicutan is perfectly accessible by air, by rail, by car. So there's a real opportunity for this ease of movement, which any young aspiring family or professional needs. whether it's being able to take your child to the school or whether it's kind of jumping on a plane to go to a business trip in Singapore, there is that ease of movement that is key to modern 21st century living. So all of those sort of qualities of ease of movement and quality of lifestyle, so that I can feel healthier, I can enjoy my space, are present in this scheme. Gone are the days that you can just stick in a pool and actually create 1, 2, 3 bedroom units and say this is what the market wants. No, it is about understanding the day in the life of the individual. What does a double income, no kids yet family want? What does a young teenager want? What does a family want? You need to get into that mindset, and that is true sustainability. And it's encouraging that there are developers like Century Properties that are actually embracing the green agenda, embracing sustainability, and understanding that sustainability just isn't about sticking a wind turbine on top of a building or putting photovoltaic cells on top of the building. It's good back to basics design. Ensuring that there is the appropriate orientation of the buildings to minimize low-angle sun, encourage cross-ventilation, driving the energy bills down, which is something that you're actually giving back to the purchaser. I mean, I've worked with some of the great developers in the world and have been very fortunate to do so. And I would like to say that Century Properties is very much a cut above, from a point of view that it really does embrace development very, very holistically. So you're already thinking about target market and target audience, and so it's something that I think there's a bit of a kinship here. Naturally, as a design practice, we like to start with the people. We actually like to start with the social demographic and what the needs are of the individual. But you're doing this. You actually think about those individuals that will be moving into the properties. You're actually starting from that sort of grassroots level. You're not giving me an area Excel spreadsheet of putting in a certain number of rooms with a particular square meterage on day one. We're able to have this sort of collaborative conversation that allows us to come up with a design that is very much in line with 21st century living, in line with movement, in line with the qualities of the open spaces. That really is something that the majority of the top-end developers in the world are understanding. Yeah, I mean, I think it's very important. We can no longer just basically turned a blind eye to the fact that there are people out there who've watched The Inconvenient Truth. They've seen Al Gore wax lyrical about the global warming. So we need to realise that yes, we need to be saving our planet. And certainly one of the key design aspects, in addition to the open spaces and the wonderful pleasurable environments that the people can enjoy in AZURE, is the sustainable element. Looking at various sort of features that sort of minimize solar gain, reduce heat island effect, incorporate opportunities for natural ventilation, good quality daylight penetration, thus reducing the need for artificial lighting. All of these are back to basics approaches that don't necessarily add cost. Well, I mean, we are doing a very, very large project, which is actually 4 times bigger than Manhattan. This is basically demonstrating that sustainability can move from the micro scale of a carbon neutral house through to the macro scale of a complete city. It is basically a testimony to knowing sustainability and how some of those principles can be applied to a city. This is an 80,000 acre master plan that'll be basically a sustained growth city over a period of 30 years. And I guess we're very lucky to have a very good design team, master planning team, architecture team, interior team that can deliver projects from the macro scale to the micro scale. Okay, well, if only I could meet every single resident of AZURE, because I think the most important thing is getting that sort of sense of feedback. I mean, when I was at university, or even prior, I always thought that it must be an amazing opportunity to actually see something from the sketch actually then be delivered physically into a building. And it gives me great joy and pleasure to see people enjoying the buildings that I've designed around the world. I would really like to one day meet some of the residents of AZURE. I'm sure they'll have a wonderful time there. I wish them all the very best. I hope that they enjoy the beach, and good luck to them all. Enjoy. long may we continue to collaborate in delivering green, sustainable designs that are beautiful places to live in.